everybody, and welcome to the Sewing and Reaping. Oh, I'm sorry, the Revelation News channel, the real Revelation News YouTube channel. And today, I want to talk about who's really being manipulated at the end of the day, and respect to some of the things that Mr. Jason has been talking about on his channel. Uh, Obviously, I'm not talking about certain channels, but I thought that this would be an appropriate time to let people know that you can't say 1 minute that Shani is a terrible and horrible person for manipulating people and using people on here and lying to people, and then you do it and think that and then think that you're going to escape that criticism. It's not going to work like that. Let me explain to you guys what I'm talking about. There are certain channels on here that are responding to, and let me just go through two of them that I'm not talking about here. One of them is Carrie. I'm not talking about her, and I'm not talking about Drader. I think Drader briefly said something, and then I went in his chat and I said something, and then it kind of stopped. But there are some of these other channels on here that are saying that I heard what Jason said, and now they believe that I'm friends with him. They believe that everything is kumbaya, my lord, and everything with us, and that we're buddy buddies and everything. Simply because I gave him a phone call, which I clarified in the video yesterday what that was all about. And now some of these YouTube channels who are trying to make a buck are on here trying to say that I'm friends with Jason again. So allow me to tell you out of my own mouth that that is not the case. I see. This is the thing I don't get. 1 minute, this guy is getting on here. He's a liar. He's a bad liar. Doesn't tell the truth about nothing. He's being manipulated by Shani, Stockholm syndrome, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff and whatnot. The second my name mentioned, boom, he's telling the truth. Like, how does that work? See, people got to remember that there are certain channels out there that still don't like me. So this is what I'm going to do and show people the clear difference between myself and, the Minnesota Barracuda and Jason. I want to show people the obvious difference between myself and them. I am extremely confrontational in these matters. I went on Dragnut's channel, God knows how many different times, to talk to him about a plethora of issues. Nobody on social media puts fear in my heart. So if you happen to be part of that other community, the Dragoons or whatever, or the group formerly known as the Dragoons, who have been beaten into a bloody pulp these days, and you want to, and I'll explain why my eyes are red in a minute. And you want me to come on your channel to clarify some things, please send me an invite now. Come on. If you want to talk about some of the things that Jason was talking about, I have no problem whatsoever. Because I'm no longer concerned about what they might say about me, my private life, or anything like that, because I can play the same game with them a lot of times. So I'm not worried about that. I am not worried about them. Them days of me being worried about that stuff is over. You know what I mean? So they need to be, they're the ones who should be concerned about it now. But please understand that I'm not friends with Jason. I'm not a buddy buddy with him. I thought that those two were done. And I figured that if he wanted somebody to talk to, he could talk to me. Obviously, I would want proof that he's not acting and faking like I obviously think he did, because some of the things that he's doing is suggesting it. The fact that he knew that he was being recorded and some other stuff and whatnot. Um, I'm not buddy buddy with them. I'm not friends with them. I'm one of these YouTubers, because some people are still fairly new to me on here, that if I was to befriend them, and if I did want to befriend them, I would tell everybody. You would see them on my channel. I don't want to hide stuff like that, because those kind of things have a way of biting you in the butt and taking away your credibility. You know what I mean? And some of these people are here just not honest about my character. I think they forgot about me. They forgot that I'll go to their little live chats and will say, give me the link. And I will go in there and I'll be like, well, you said I'm friends with them. How do you know this? Well, Jason said it. I thought Jason was a liar. I thought he was a manipulator. I thought he was being manipulated by Shani. I thought he wasn't telling the truth about everything. I thought he was a bad liar. Now all of a sudden he's telling the truth about me and him being friends. That's not going to work. Not with a person like me. Not as aggressive as I am too. Some people here just really don't know yet. They're gonna find out one day. And remember, Dragoons, I let you guys know that when I'm done with Shanny Rev, I'm coming for you guys. We got some unfinished business, like this in a Kill Bill. We got some serious unfinished business we need to attend to. Cause y'all walking around here acting like y'all God's gift to the planet and acting like y'all these moral beings and whatnot, and you are not. You thought I forgot about all of these racist garbage things that you guys put into my live chat when I had GTV? Think I forgot about that stuff? Keep walking around here being fake if you want. You'll see in what I can do in one video. I'll put the fear of God in your hearts because of one video. I ain't forget about George, a Grand Ultimate Villain. I ain't forget about Gentleman Pioneer and what you guys did to him. I ain't forget about what you did to several people in here. And I'm certainly ain't going to forget what you did to me. I have all of those videos, whether you know it or not. YouTube ain't the only platform you can upload videos if you smell what the rock is cooking. You know what I mean? So with that being said, no, I am not friends with Jason. And no, Jason, I am not giving you back the Nintendo GameCube. Your woman said that I gave her a death sentence. It had nothing to do with a thumbnail with her punching somebody. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with that woman lying in that hotel and telling everybody that that she was going to get blood clots, and I gave her a death sentence. That is what the issue is. And to this very day, Shani hasn't apologized about that. Now, why are my eyes red? I just came from the gym. I did about, I ran on the treadmill for about an hour, did some hill walking, and I came back here, and I haven't even gotten in the shower yet. When I'm finished with this particular stream, I'm going to go do all of that, and I'm going to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. Jason says the uncle's house belongs to him after they put that big hole in the wall. I wouldn't be surprised if the uncle gave him back the house. I honestly would not be surprised. And if that is the case, in about 3 years they won't have it because they will not be able to pay the taxes. And to pay the taxes, I would suspect that they are going to try to do everything they can to create as much controversy online so that they can get ad revenue, which they're getting from somewhere. I don't care what nobody say. I think they're close to being either monetized, or they are monetized, or they're getting money for the things that they're doing. Because they're saying every controversial thing they could possibly say to get everybody talking about them. Just keeping it real. I'm just letting you guys know how they think and what they're doing, you know. But no, I'm not friends with Jason. I can't be friends with somebody like that. He practices anti-Semitism. These two are promoting the Quran. Shani is pretending to kill herself. Well, is pretending to unalive herself again. Shani is the one here pretending that that she's a victim on here again. Nobody got no time for that. I don't have no time for that whatsoever. You guys go look. LOL, his Instagram live feed right now is wild. Revelation News, Jason deserves your forgiveness. Shani, on the other hand, doesn't deserve jack. Here's the thing. Jason is practicing anti-Semitism. He endorses and condones witchcraft. Jason is constantly defending the Minnesota Barracuda. And Jason is going in a direction that I'm not going in. This has nothing to do with forgiveness. This has to do with the fact that these two think that they can come on social media, claim to know Christ, and think they can come on here with their little false teachings, their false prophecies, their false identities, and think that they can deceive people in order to receive donations. And that's a no-no. I'm not trying to hear it. And until they're stopped, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah, Shani did that so that she can secure her spot in that house. And if it's true that Jason got that house again, Jason's going to sell it. Jason's going to get the money, and then Shani's going to be miraculously healed. God touched her leg, and it can work again, and she'll be able to walk, and she'll be boasting and bragging and putting down poor people in no time. I don't want nothing to do with those two. Absolutely nothing. I believe that these two have, let me think about this. They've been living rent-free for 3 years, and they haven't saved 25 cents. They've been living rent free for about 3 years, and they haven't saved 25 cents. I'm done with them. I'm done with them. If they got the cojones to sit on camera and call me the N word, if they got the cojones to sit on camera, and I mean, and start calling me things like this, and when not putting me part of the ABC club, if they got the cojones to get on here and say the things that they are on here saying, then you want to know what? They got another voice against them. Except I'm a different voice because ain't no Christian gonna get on here and regularly support them. Not as long as I'm speaking against them, they're not. I don't know if he's drinking again. I left him a message on his voicemail. I didn't talk to him or anything like that. I left a message on his voicemail. Shani is a terrible influence on him. He can sit there and defend her till he's blue in the face. But I know from personal experience and from and just watching them online, she's a horrible influence on him. Well, Jason doesn't understand that he can literally do whatever he wants and Shani won't leave. He doesn't understand it. He can literally do whatever he wants. He can go out there and have 4 or 5 girlfriends if he wants, and Shani ain't going nowhere. He can go out there and have 20 girlfriends, and Shani ain't going nowhere. He can go out there and date the entire town that he's in, and Shani ain't going nowhere. I don't think he understands the position that he's in. And Shani keeps trying to guilt him with this whole, I was there when you had wet brain. And while you were there, and what he doesn't understand is why he had wet brain. He had almost $1 million, and he was taking care of her and her boys, in terms of providing a roof over their heads and giving them food and clothing and all this expensive stuff. Like those kids had things that I couldn't, please, that I couldn't even afford it at the time. They had very expensive things when they came over there. So I'm not a supporter of Jason. I don't support him or Shani. I believe, and I said this yesterday, and I mean it, and I mean this as a Christian. Everything that happens to him, he deserves it because he refuses to suffer. He refuses to get away from Shani and do something with his life. I had to do it as an adult. You had to do it. The viewers had to do it as an adult. Other people's had to do it as an adult. Who does he think he is to think he doesn't have to learn how to save money? Who does he think he is that he doesn't have to learn how to go out there and earn his bread? Who does he think he is to think that he doesn't have to go out there and do the things that we had to do, in our adult life? Who does he think he is? So if you want to get on here and you want to stream, guess what? You're going to deal with the criticisms. You're going to deal with people calling her the Minnesota Barracuda, calling her a whale, and calling her everything else in the book. If you don't like it, get off of social media and go get a job. Period. And if Shani don't like it, oh well. You want to get on social media? The second you make a video, people have the right to critique it. Now, there are rules to how people are supposed to critique it, but people are allowed to critique it. People want to make a video and talk about my nose? Go ahead and talk about my nose. I don't care. If I don't respond to you, then you know how much I don't care about it. You understand what I'm saying? So they're going to sit there and they're going to whine and complain that they're doing so bad. And then Shani's so lazy, she can't even fill out Social Security papers. Rev's so lazy, he can't even do it. They don't want to go out there and get a job. They don't want to go out there and, you know what, then you made your bed, lay in it. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to go out there and break my back, work, pay my bills, and turn around and give it to you so that you can just sit around all day, get drunk, get high, and play video games all day. That's not going to happen. While you're going out there telling people that witchcraft is okay, and you're going out there claiming that the Palestinians are the real Jews and whatnot. I guess it's the stupidity that's coming out of their mouth. I don't want nothing to do with that. And I'm making this video in direct response to those people out there that are making these claims that I'm still friends with Jason, and I'm not. I am not. I am not friends with Jason. Let's say this again. I am not friends with Jason. Let's say this again. I am not friends with Jason. Let's say this again. I am not friends with Jason. Let me say this again. I am not friends with Jason. Let me say this again. I am not friends with Jason. He tells me that that in order to show my appreciation, that I need to go up there. Like, this is how arrogant this guy is. He is so arrogant that he wants me to go 2 hours and 15 minutes, all the way to that town that he lives in, drop off some games on his porch to show my appreciation for what I got with the house. This is what he wants me to do. He wants me to not drive. He wants me to get an Uber all the way up there, waste my time, and then drop these these games on his porch. And no, it doesn't work like that, Jason. I think I already showed my appreciation. I gave you somewhere to live for almost 2 years for free. For free. I fed you. I fed the Minnesota Barracuda, and I fed you, and I fed her kids. I did a lot, and I'm not going into all of that again. I think I showed my appreciation. When your woman was being a narcissist and love bombing me, and you were love bombing me, oh, I love you, G-Man, I love you, G-Man, I love you, G-Man. I'll give you $1 million in Apple stock and blah, 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 blah. I love you, 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 I love you. Take this, take this, take this, take this, take this. And now you want me to go, and now you want me to get, no. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. How much is the Uber to go all the way up there? About 100 and it depends on what time of the day. Anywhere between 180 to about 210 to go all the way up there. I'm not doing all of that. The last time I wasted my time. I ain't doing that again. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. I'm not these guys. They got on here and they had all that money and they boasted it and they bragged about what they what they did with their. I'm not one of them people that's gonna do that. I got better things to do with my time. Sorry. If Jason is the kind of guy that likes to get beat up when Shanny gets mad, if Jason is the kind of guy that likes to be hungry, if he's the kind of guy that likes to be abused and not be validated while validating that Minnesota Barracuda that he's with, you know what I mean? If he likes to be, if he likes to go through trauma and all of that, then let him go through it. I'm not going to stop him. He told me to mind my business, stay out of his life, and don't get involved. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Shanny told me not to defend her. Shanny told me she didn't want me no part. I'm going to do exactly that. It's their fault they're going through what they're going through. I was the best friend either of them had in their entire existence. Because clearly neither one of them never met Jesus. That's the only reason I'm taking that claim. If they knew Jesus, then I would say Jesus is the best friend they ever had. But I don't believe they ever knew him. I was the best friend these two ever had. Anything they wanted, all they had to do was call me. Jason, it's your fault you're going through what you're going through. Pretty soon, the next fight, you're going to get a black eye and you'll make excuses for her. She'll break your ribs. You'll make excuses for her. She'll knock your teeth out your mouth. You'll make excuses for her. And your uncle will sit back and do absolutely nothing. That woman is going to destroy your uncle. Talking about some, you love her. You love her. You don't got your mother. Give Shanny some time. You won't have your uncle either. She ain't got her family, and you ain't going to have yours either. And then you're going to be sleeping out in the concrete. Even if you do get back that house, that town that you live in doesn't care about what people on YouTube are saying. They don't care about your problems. They want their tax money. If there are any violations on that house, you have to fix them. Because if you don't, you will not be allowed to sell that property. Just keeping it real, dude. You used to know more about this than me, Jason. Not no more, dude. You don't know more about this than me. That's why it doesn't really bother me if you get it back. That manipulating, lying Minnesota Barracuda will get you to sell that place. Get a hold of that little bit of money that you got left, and then she will do what you did not have the courage to do. She'll leave you high and dry while claiming that you violated her and claim that you did things to her that you never did. Yes, I did call him, but I'm not friends with him. I told him that if he needs somebody to talk to, I'm here for him. That doesn't mean I'm going to give him any money. That doesn't mean I'm going to. If you guys have been listening to me long enough, you already knew what I was going to say to him. It's time for you to get a job and get your life together. And I know he didn't. He wasn't going to want to hear that stuff, but that's what he was going to have to hear. I'm just sick and tired of these people out here that believe that that is my responsibility to take care of two adults that refuse to work. That's not going to happen. I was thinking about giving one of these reaction people a donation because of the good work that they was doing with covering these two. But these people have jobs already. They could care less if I donate. And I love it. They don't need me. They're not begging me. And more importantly, they're not going to their money. I know if I donate to Carrie, Carrie's not going to take that donation and give it to Shanny and Rev. It's not going to happen. There are certain people on here that I know if you donate to them, there ain't no way on God's green earth that money is going to find their way into Shanny and Rev's hands. Because these people wasn't born yesterday. It's not that Jason can't work. Jason doesn't want to work. Let me tell you guys something. It's different for you guys that never met him before and you feel sorry for him and you see him talking on here. I was there in person with this guy. He can work. If you can, listen to me, guys. If you can drive, why can't you do Uber? Why can't you do a taxi service? Why can't you do DoorDash? His car qualifies for DoorDash. I assure you of that. Why can't he do that? What's wrong with a paper route? I would rather get $50 to $100 if they even do that no more. I don't even know if they do paper routes no more, but I would rather get $50 to $100 doing a paper route and have my dignity than get on social media begging all the time. And if you think I'm making this up, the next time Evangelist Ken makes a video, ask him. He will tell you what I'll do before I get on here and live like that. That ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Yes, twice by the same person. The contractor said all he had to do, because he had no skills, he couldn't do anything. All he had to do, get this, was to leave the contractor, go to the van, grab a hammer, and bring it back to the contractor. And if the contractor needed a screw gun, he had to leave the contractor, go to the van, grab the screw gun, and go back to the contractor. The dude doesn't want to work. And then whenever the guy would go to the store, whenever he would go in front of the door, if he would drive to the basketball court, you guys know where that house was. And then if you know about 3 blocks from there, Obama's old house is over there. And then there's a basketball court over there. If he went over there for 15 minutes, he was cheating on Shanny. He can't do anything while he's with her. And even if she goes, he still ain't going to want to work. Because this dude in his brain still thinks he has $750,000. Can't get mad at your uncle because your uncle was responsible with what you gave him. You can't get mad at me because I was responsible with for what was given to me. You was completely irresponsible with what you had because you chose a barracuda over your future. And if you would have grew up properly and was brought up like a man, you would know that you shouldn't have did that. The second you would have recognized her as being a black widow or a user, you should have dropped her like that. You say she forced herself into you. If you knew this, then you should have got rid of her when you had the opportunity. Instead of getting on social media, making stuff up and lying, acting like your relationship was all hunky-dory, lovey-dovey, like she did with Chris. Oh, our relationship is so hunky-dory, lovey-dovey. No, it was not. A lot of people on here lying about their relationships on here. You know what I mean? I found out, and I hate to bring up the past, but just to show you how savage I am, when Dragna and those guys was coming after me, and they was trying to end my YouTube career, and they was trying to destroy me on here, and completely obliterate me, and stop people from donating, which they failed miserably, and did all this other stuff and whatnot, Miss Parker was talking about how wonderful her marriage was to her husband. Oh, they were just so in love. Hey, my hubby on here, and we're doing so great. And meanwhile, they're attacking me, belittling me. Don't worry, we'll cover all this stuff again. You know what I mean? Saying all this other stuff. And then I found out from a little birdie, they wasn't even married. You all know the story regarding me and Miss Parker. God knows everybody knows that story. So don't give me, there are people on here talking about their relationships, and I know they're full of it. Nobody's relationship is going so perfect that they're never having no issues. You know what I mean? So when they get on here and they act like, oh, that's my Shanny Poo, and she's so great, and that's my Revy Poo, and shut up. You ain't fooling nobody over here. Exactly, gospel Philomoth. That's called shacking. It's called fornication. These two are not even married. And they want to be respected as Christians while promoting witchcraft. And Jason has said on multiple occasions that he likes witchcraft, that Jesus practiced white magic. Just utter nonsense. Yes, they are living in sin. See, and that's a bigger issue than him making the decisions that he's making. Shanny wanted to destroy my reputation. Gee, man, we could be a power couple. You know, we are hooked up. We could be a power. I said, that ain't gonna happen, honey. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. He's making all of these videos, inviting everybody into his life. And the second one of you go out there and say, whoa, Jason said this and Jason said that. Why are you guys in my personal life? Stop talking about my Dude, you literally made a video and you said verbatim what they said verbatim. You don't got a case with nobody. Let's not go ahead and have the nerve to sit there and say, well, you know, Shanny isn't in the mindset and you shouldn't. Anybody who's speaking against Shanny, if I can get a lawyer, we're going to. This dude don't even know the law. You know what I mean? Whenever I got on here and I talked about it, I made sure I showed a video and showed people what the law said about certain things. And I'm gonna tell you something. If trolls was getting on them so much, and Shanny actually did something to herself, they have a case. But that's not what happened. This is the facts of actually what happened. Jason was belittling her, Jason was calling her names, and Jason was going to dump her. So Shanny, to make sure she keeps that roof over her head, pretended to harm herself. I'll put it to you that way. Pretended to harm herself. That has nothing to do with the people covering these videos. That has to do with Jason not knowing how to shut up when he knows he's being recorded. I think Shanny is a witch. I've been saying that for a while. I don't believe she's a Christian. Shanny reminds me of, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Drunken Peasants did an episode soon, or somebody did an episode and compare Shanny, and Brett's not going to like this, but a claim was made about Brett Kane where they said that he was pretending to be a Christian because they donated more money, right? In Shanny's case, as long as everything was going hunky-dory, lovey-dovey, Shanny got no problem talking about Christ. Things get difficult in her life. Now she's talking about the Quran. Not knowing what the Quran teaches. See, if she's going to promote the Quran, I'm going to follow up with a video telling her what a lot of men, what Jason can do to her according to the Quran, and what a lot of men can do to her according to the Quran. And she can't say nobody's triggering her because she's the dummy on here promoting it. Yeah, she promotes drugs and witchcraft, and she promotes a hippie lifestyle. That is not Christianity. If you want to be in a different belief system, that's all fine and well. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to be in a different belief system, that's fine. But don't come into the faith sitting there talking about witchcraft is okay, because you're going to get called out on that. Nobody in the great debate, and I mean literally nobody, not even the atheists at this point would consider her to be a Christian. And there's a lot of them that would say, no, I think she is. Or no, they would not say that. Not if they see the kind of things that she's doing. There ain't no apologist in their right mind that will listen to the things that they're saying and say that these two are Christians. First claiming to be Saldafon and Metatron, and then claiming to be the two witnesses. Like Jason is just so brain dead. It's not even funny. He doesn't see that Shanny is copying these other YouTubers. You're right about her copying Foodie. The only dumb thing about what it is that she's doing, she's living in the wrong town to have those views. She's in the wrong town to have those views, and she better be careful. Those views and opinions are gonna cost her if she ain't careful, because she's gonna mess around and say the wrong thing, and somebody's gonna hear it. As soon as unanswered prayers, trials, and tribulations hits pseudo-Christian, run to demonic Islam, exactly. And then she's going to try to go grift the Islamic community. Except I don't think she any understands how Muslims view women, and I don't think she understands that she's going to have to shh. I don't think she understands that. I really don't think she understands that. Even the ones that aren't so strict are going to tell her to shut up after a while. So, again, I'm not friends with Jason. I'm definitely not friends with Shani. When I say I'm done with her, I am done with her. I don't appreciate being used by her, lied about by her, and her going out there trying to tell people I gave her a death sentence. Talking about she gave me everything she had or everything that they. No, you did not. If you gave me everything you had, I would have both houses. Regarding Rev, I would have $750,000. I would have stock options. I would have all these other different things. You ain't give me everything that you had. In comparison to what Shani wasted, I got the dust. So I don't know what the heck she's talking about. How you doing, Katie? So again, this is a bit of a correction to some of these other channels out there that are saying that I'm still friends with Jason. No, I am not. No, I am not. He can go in here and speak positive about me all he wants. He ain't getting the Nintendo. He ain't getting those games. When he needs to worry about, I find it odd for a guy that doesn't have no food, for a guy that doesn't have a change of clothes, for a guy that doesn't have anything. The only thing that these two seem to claim that they need is video games. And I'm going to say this again to this community. They're lying to you, and they have more than you guys think that they got. They're lying to you, and they have more than you think that they got. There is no way on God's green earth they don't got no food, no clothes, no nothing, and they're more concerned about a video game than they are about those other things. That's just not the case. And if Shani thinks some man is going to feel sorry for her and want to deal with with a blob that can't get off the couch, that has to go to a bucket to go to the bathroom, she's crazy. She can put makeup on. She can do all this other stuff. If the second a man finds out that you can't get up and you can't walk upstairs, and you like, no. Absolutely not. Jason barely wants to be with her. Yeah, that laptop he has is an Alienware laptop. That laptop is worth well over $1,000. If they was as broke as they say they were, he could easily sell that laptop to somebody. You want to know how I know that laptop's worth that much? Because I have the same laptop here. except mine's in better condition than his is. I'm not monetized though. Gospel Phil Math. If people want to donate to me, they have to take the time out to go to the description of the other video and find out what my cash app is, or watch an old video because I barely talk about it on here anymore. I regret the day that I ever decided to do the whole cash app thingy. I really regret it because it there's too many problems. There's just too many problems. So I don't really want nothing to do with that. I'm not participating in no fundraisers. I don't want to participate in anything that has to do with money on social media ever again. I just don't. Yeah, he's an alcoholic again. So she's going to say that when they went to Colorado, she helped him get off of alcohol. She got him addicted to weed. And when they came back to PA and started facing hardship, he got it. He was really addicted to weed and to Delta 8, and now he's drinking again. She hasn't done nothing for him. Now, the only positive thing about all of this is that the uncle is talking to him and trying to talk some sense into him. That's really the only positive thing. If you're a Christian and you're watching this, I think it's time to start praying and asking God to take action. Okay, so let me say this. Normally, I would say let's pray and and ask God to intervene to stop what's going on between the two of them. But the Bible says that we have to hand one over to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, meaning leave them to their own devices, and then perhaps they'll repent when they hit rock bottom. So I'm a little torn between asking God to intervene as opposed to just leaving them to their own devices. Because the second God intervenes, they think they're going through something now. They ain't seen nothing yet. Because I personally believe that God is the one that stripped them of everything they had. Yeah, she got a huge grip on him. And there's nothing he can do about it. He's not strong enough to by himself to get away from her. And he doesn't have any friends. And he's not allowed to have any friends. She has to monitor what he does 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he's not even allowed to go outside and play with his friends. That's not a relationship. That's not love. That's Shanny being overly controlling. That's what that is. Yeah, let them hit rock bottom. And then actually what this community can do to really stop what's going on in that household is to do not donate another nickel to them. If Jules and Burnt Toast and Anti-Social Media and Teddy Bear and all those other guys really want to help Jason, stop giving them money. You're going to get more fights. You're going to get more content. You're going to get everything you want the second you dry up the well. Dry it up and force him to go get a job. Mark my words, you'll all be millionaires if you stop giving them money, because Shanny and Red will be fighting every other stream. Well, let them grift. If nobody gives them anything, then they're going to have to go do something. Hunger is a powerful motivator. Hunger is a powerful motivator. And I'm not saying that you guys should do something to them that wouldn't be appropriate to do to me. If I sat around all day and did absolutely nothing and didn't try to do anything for myself and was being lazy and lethargic and wasn't trying to do anything, and you shouldn't give me anything either. I believe, I used to be in a similar situation that they was in. When I got kicked out of that house the first time, and I'm not bragging, but when I went on my channel and I let people know what was going on, I got help to get out of there. I can go to my channel now and do something like that if I was in that situation. Because I try to keep it as real as possible. And sometimes I believe I can do it on this channel. But there's no need to, because I'm not in that situation. So, Jason, we're not friends. I was only gonna kind of talk to you on the phone about what you can do to better your life. We are not friends, dude. We are not friends. You ain't getting no Nintendo. You ain't getting none of that stuff. You ain't getting none of it, dude. And before you say I don't got it, don't make me start putting this stuff on camera. Because I have all of it. All of it. Somebody told me that with this channel, I should actually start playing Stardew Valley on here. If Shani calls me the N-word on here again, or if Shani starts referring to my race, or if Shani disrespects me on here one more time, I might start doing that. Just to send her a message. See, Jason, here's the thing. When you was asking for a laptop, dude, I could have mailed you 4 of them. And you know I could have. I could have mailed you 5 of them. Why should I? So that you two can sit down on the couch all day and get high and get drunk and put down everybody and lie about the Jews and lie about Jesus and lie about the Bible and then misrepresent. You must be crazy. That's not going to happen, especially from me. That ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I just wanted to make this video in direct, not indirect. I wanted to make this video to respond to these people out there that are saying I'm still friends with Jason. No, I am not. And if I hear somebody say that again on their stream after they've been told that that's not the case, do not be surprised if you see me in your chat say, give me the link. I am not Shani, and I am not afraid of the smoke. One of the things I do not like about YouTube over the last 2 years is that we don't got enough people going to other people's channels. Back in the great debate days, we were going to people's channels all the time. Now nobody wants to go to other people's channels. Somebody wants me to come on there and they got a good enough topic. I'll go on there and I'll bring people with me. There are a bunch of us that are dying to go to some channels to talk about specific topics. I don't have a problem with it. Rev doesn't even know how to use the internet on his phone to use it on his laptop. He's just completely brain dead. But I don't know if it's factual that the uncle gave the house back. You can actually go on Zillow and find out whether or not that's the case. I highly doubt he did that. But I know this though. If it's true, they're going to continue to say controversial things to get people talking about them, so that when they get monetized, they'll start making their money. What Jason doesn't understand, and what he will never understand, is that they get so much hate on YouTube. The second people find out that they're monetized, they can kiss themselves goodbye. They don't understand it. They don't get it. Jason needs to check himself into a psychiatric ward for about 6 months to a year and don't sign himself out, so he can get the appropriate help he needs to stop being afraid to fill out job application. Even though when he had all of that money, he boasted and bragged, talked about how people was jealous of him and his mom and how he could use a cash register. He knows how to count money. He can do math. Absolutely hilarious. I don't know what happened to his Revelation News channel. I know he had one goofy video on there. Shani probably looked at it and didn't like it and manipulated him into deleting it. That's probably what happened. She manipulates him all the time. And he's never going to feel like being a man again, because Shani is constantly changing him. And Shani can get on here and talk about not being validated. I said this on here once, and I say it again and again and again. As a Christian, I do not care about Shani's heart, because her heart is made of stone. It is a sinful heart. It is an idolatrous heart. And it is a heart that is dedicated to me, myself, and I. I don't care about her feelings, and I don't care about her heart. Shani needs to repent. And she needs to repent big time. If Jason wants to do something for himself, Jason will get a job, save his money, and throw Shani out. And if she must stay there, stop having sex with her, stop having anything to do with her. She wants to sit there and take pills, let her take pills and go right back to the psychiatric ward. She ain't gonna do nothing. She's doing that, Jason, to control you. And she's doing a really good job at doing it. Talking about someone you were driving her there, you realize how much you loved her. Yeah, you must really love the fact that this woman absolutely, completely destroyed your life right along with yourself. You don't think that is kind of weird, Jason? That not only did she bring you all the way to Boulder, Colorado, away from your family, but you're not even allowed to have friends in the place that you're in right now. You don't think that's a little odd? You don't think that's a little controlling? Go look at my video, Rev, about narcissists pretending to be sick. Jesus said that if you seek, you will find. Right? If you look, you will find. Knock and the door shall be opened. Right? You're not looking, dude. One of the things that woke me up was I looked at these archive channels. I didn't know a lot of the things that you guys were doing when y'all was in Colorado, and some of the things that you guys were saying toward the latter times of being in Colorado. I didn't know a lot of that stuff. And had I did know it, you guys wouldn't have been allowed to come in here. I'd have been like, why don't y'all go in y'all direction and let me stay where I'm at? Shani and Rev lied to me about a lot of things before they finally got in that house. The husband is the head of the wife, just as Christ is the head of the church. No, you're right about that. But Jason has said multiple times that Shani's the head, and that Shani's the one in charge, and that I need to get myself a woman pastor. Yes and no, Tanya. When you say Jason's uncle is the main enabler, if he stopped helping, they'll be screwed. If that was true, then all you got to do is talk to the uncle and express your concerns, and show him proof that Shani fakes her harming herself. What's got to happen in order to get the uncle to listen? One of you got to go out there and talk to him in person, because at this point, the only way his uncle is going to listen to me if I run into him somewhere else when those two are not around. That is the only way he's going to listen to me, because I'm not going to tell him to throw them out. I'm going to tell him and warn him about Shani. But I think he kind of already knows about her, and I think he kind of knows that Shani's full of it. I think he kind of knows it. The one thing I'll say about Rev's uncle is he is not stupid. He ain't stupid at all. I think he's just trying to be somewhat supportive towards Jason. But just like I had my boiling point, he's going to reach his point where he's just going to throw one of them out of there. It's coming. It's coming. Jason is basing his security on the fact that that's his family. Listen to me. My family eventually threw me out. What makes you think that ain't going to happen to him? What makes you think that ain't eventually going to happen to him? His trust is misplaced. And that's why I don't respect their big Bear Gaming. This is why I don't respect their union, because they're not married. They're actually shacking up. That's what they're doing. They're fornicating. And Shani knows that they're fornicating. But Shani doesn't care, because Shani ain't no real Christian. Shani knows full well what those two are doing. What they are in is unrepentant sin. So any blessings that God has for them is not going to be there, because they refuse to repent. And it's as simple as that. And on top of that, they're blaspheming the Lord's name, because they're doing all of that stuff in his name, claiming that they're Christians. Why would an uncle listen to a stranger over you? It depends on how you approach him. Can't do it through a letter. That ain't gonna work because they'll intercept it before it gets to the uncle. That ain't gonna work. And a lot of the stuff I'm gonna say to the uncle, he already believes. The issue is gonna be, does he have the resolve to throw Jason out? I believe if he loves Jason, if he truly cares about him, he'll tell him he's got a week to get it. He's got about 2 weeks to get a job, and if he doesn't get it, throw them out. Cut the electricity off, cut the water off, and then get an eviction. Go to their courthouse and get the police there to throw Shanny out, because that's what it's going to come down to. He needs more than 30 days. Jason needs somebody to talk to. One thing I'll say about him, on a positive note, he's been demasculinized. I didn't even say that right. But the point is, he doesn't know what it means to be a man, and he needs a strong male figure there for a few days to talk to him and to show him what life is all about. When I was doing it, he was listening, and then he got involved with Shanny, and that's when you got all those videos on XX Archive. G-Man, mind your business. G-Man, you're keeping things from me. And it's my prerogative to do that. I'm not entitled. I'm not obligated to give you nothing, Shanny. I'm not obligated to tell you anything. I am not Jason. You're in my house. That was my attitude. I told Jason straight up, she doesn't make you feel like a man, get away from her. It's as simple as that. That will make her change immediately. A lot of people don't know this stuff about women like that. If you want to change them, show them you ain't playing. And stick to your decision. His father died when he was very young. Basically was raised by his mother. He had his uncle. So yeah, for the most part, no male figure in his life. He doesn't know what it means to be a man. Or to be, I'll put it to you this way. He doesn't know what it means to be a responsible adult. That's right, he's emasculated by Shanny. Yep, he's emasculated by Shanny. Shanny is not a woman that any man will want to be with or should be with, because Shanny will absolutely destroy you. The uncle kicked them out once. That's how they ended up in G-Man's house. How did the uncle kick them out then? Do that again. Well, Rev and Shanny went there, and the uncle told them that they was going to have to get jobs, and they was going to have to do certain things and try to get money and find somewhere to go. Rev was very puffed up and proud about the whole situation, and he felt like because he gave the uncle the house that he shouldn't have to rush and actually go looking for a job or whatever. Actually, to be honest, he actually thought that the uncle was going to give him back the house. And when that didn't happen, they started calling me way early, because I'm going to be honest, I knew that they was trying to get in there, and I told them that that if that was going to happen, at first this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Rent-A-Center. I wanted to get them a bedroom set in each one of those rooms. I wanted to do a lot of stuff for them. But they rushed over there. Then they started destroying stuff. And you guys know the rest of the story. So the only way the uncle is going to throw them out if Shanny is overly disrespectful to him. That's the only way I think it's going to happen. Of course he does. Shanny Red ain't paying for nothing. Let me tell you guys something. When Shanny Red was living in my house, when Shanny Red was living in there, they was making money on social media. Jason told me that Shanny got a check one time from YouTube for $1,000, and I think $1,200. No, sorry, then $1,200 one time for what she was doing on YouTube. And I said, how come she never called me up to offer me any money for to stay there and whatnot? And he said that she needed her medication. And I'm telling you, that was one of the times where it was the beginning of the end of them getting out. That I said, now they're making money and they don't think they and don't think they got to give me anything. No, I don't think so. That's why a lot of times when Jason gets on here and he starts talking about what's owed to them and my appreciation and whatnot, he ain't telling you the whole story. He ain't telling you the whole story. Yep. Shanny knows where her bread is buttered. She has to keep asking the uncle. Rev was telling the truth about Shanny constantly calling the uncle. The second the YouTubers ain't doing it, they're gonna go to the uncle. That's why he's gonna be destroyed by Shanny. And Jason doesn't care. Shanny doesn't care about Jason's uncle or his family. She only cares about getting her Delta 8. I wish it was a way to go to these stores and tell these stores not to sell that stuff to Shanny because she's a junkie. And I'll tell you one thing that she is doing that's illegal. She is doing something on here that is very illegal. It ain't just a cancer thing. She can't call Delta 8 medication. Rev and Shanny has done that on multiple occasions. They have put beer on camera and they have said, well, whatever that drink was, they said that's medication. And Shanny and Rev have referred to Delta 8 as being medication. It is not medication. It is not approved by the FDA or the Medical Association or anything like that as being medication. That's illegal. They can't do that. That's why I'm surprised at all of the stuff that they're getting away with. I'm actually shocked, to be honest. They gotten on here and they practiced anti-Semitism. They gotten on here and been racist. They've gotten on here and been as controversial as possible, and they're getting away with it. They're even breaking the law, making medical claims about Delta 8. That can get you in a lot of trouble. And she abuses prescription medication. What you can do with Shanny with that is, I don't know the name of that hospital where they live and everything and whatnot. But if you contact that hospital, you can actually call the hospital and let them know that she's abusing medication and she's putting it on the internet for everybody to see. Meaning you can show them proof that she's abusing those medications. Guy Sink. Okay, so yeah. You can call them and say, listen, there's a patient that comes there. Her name is, blah, blah, blah. And you can say that this lady is abusing medication. That she's getting this and she's getting that. And then she gets on camera and then and she's talking about it and she's abusing it. Yep, and it's recorded. Yep. Wait a minute, Jason's live right now? Oh, okay, he was saying. That's past tense. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to deal with her with the medication thingy, call the hospital. Call the hospitals and let them know that she's abusing her medications. And she's putting it on social media for everybody to see. So, Shanny's a junkie. She's a straight up junkie. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I ain't friends with Jason. I'm never going to be friends with Shanny again. I don't want nothing to do with her because she has a problem and she needs to go seek professional help. And so does Jason. He needs to go get professional help too. They don't need video games. They need jobs. They need to learn how to be adults and save money. They need a security deposit, and they need to get their own apartment. They need to learn how to go food shopping, real food shopping. Shanny needs to learn how to cook, and Jason needs to learn how to cook. Anyway, guys, later, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't donate. I don't need it. See you guys later.